So hey guys, I decided to make a separate video about the durability and the reason why I bought this Kayo as opposed to buying used. So durability wise, mentioned it in another video. I have 11 hours, no problems whatsoever. A lot of other people in my Facebook group have way more hours than that, and for the majority of the people and everything that I can find, nobody's had any real issues. No breakages, no real issues, couple weepy fork seals, which I helped some people out with that, how to fix that. It's not a send it in, you need to get new fork seals issue. It's clean them with a Risk Racing fork seal doctor. So let's get into it. The reason why I chose this Kayo and even another bike previous to this, but as opposed to buying a Japanese used bike, the reason is I get a brand new bike, brand spanking new, nobody else has owned it, bike for $5,000. The manufacturer's MSRP for this Kayo 250, which is a dual overhead cam, carbureted, fast ace suspension, 2016 KTM plastic in the rear, 2015 in the front, liquid cooled, current technology bike, chrome ollie frame, all that other kind of stuff. Lots of extra goodies. Billet aluminum. I'm selling it big time, sorry. The reason why is for $5,000, I get a brand new bike. If I have to do a used bike, I'm getting someone else's problem. I don't know the history. And unless he was my neighbor or buddy that I went riding with all the time, how would I ever know what that bike was treated like? And for $5,000, around here where I live in North Carolina, you're going to get something that's almost 8 or 10 years old. You're not going to find something that's just 2 years old or something for that amount of money. Bike prices, used bike prices in this area have blown up. And two-strokes especially, I mean, geez, they're getting to the point where I can't believe the price that they get for a two-stroke that's, I'm just going to say it, used and abused, ridden hard and put away wet. Two-stroke would have been my option had I not gotten this. That is the one thing that I would say. To rebuild a two-stroke is less expensive than an older four-stroke. Some people in the comments, you want to tell me different. I know the truth about these things. Trust me, you can build a two-stroke less expensive if it's somewhat current. But even still, like I said, around here, $5,000 won't get you, 2019, won't get you 2020, won't get you 2021 like this one. You're going to be back 2006, 2008 maybe if you're lucky. Find one that's blown up, and then you still have to do the rebuild. And remember, if you're going to do something right, when you're versing a new one versus a rebuild. Everything's brand new here. That includes your bushings. That includes your bearings. That includes a bottom end job, a top end, new piston, rings, So if you want to try to do that to rebuild, think about what you have to do. You basically have to strip it down to the frame to see what you're working with. I know people who've done these jobs, you get a frame crack and you don't know it because it's behind the gas tank, or it's down here, down on the bottom, the rails get bent from hitting rocks and stuff. So, long story short, you can spend another $2,000 to $3,000 trying to rebuild. And I'm not going to say you can't just slap a top in and all of a sudden it's running, but you'll come across eventually the problem that rears its head is age. your bearings go, your bottom end bearings go, you know, you might have clutch problems. You're definitely, 20 hours is what they recommend. You do refresh your oil in your suspension. And if someone, I know so many people don't do that. They don't take care of their suspension. So you go and buy an 8 or 10-year-old bike, you know, a total rebuild on your suspension can be very costly. Unless you can do it yourself. I mean, hey, everybody's different. You know, I'm a pretty decent mechanic. I rely on other mechanics that I know that can help me out and get me through things. And that might help you. And 2 strokes are definitely easier to work on than 4 strokes. So that may be a thing. But yeah, so just touching it, I wanted to make a separate video. That's the reason why. $5,000. Think about it. Go look in your, your cycle trader. Go look in your local Facebook groups and marketplace. See what you can get for $5,000. And then remember, as a used bike, you're still going to have to do stuff to it. It's been ridden for however many years. Like I said, in my area, $5,000 won't even get you close. 2006, maybe. You know, you're talking very old motorcycles at that point that have been used as motocross. You know, they're used hard. You understand. I'm not trying to be abusive in what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, jumps, hills, rocks, mud, how good you take care of it. You know, how much sand has gone through your engine into your transmission. All these things made me think really long and hard as to, you know, why not give this China bike at $5,000 a chance and get over that stigma that these things are crap. Like, I get so many people say, well, it doesn't come with the same bolts. This bike, I'm not going to say everyone, this bike does. All the bolts are grade. Okay, what about the suspension? This bike has copy of Honda Showa suspension. Yes, they use different materials, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's not weaker. That's some things that people have been saying to me. Well, yeah, they use, you know, cheap steel. No, this bike is chrome moly steel. The tubes and the forks are aluminum. Inside, they're not the same. I will give you that. Sometimes they use steel instead of aluminum, but so yeah, I'm gonna go with that there. This bike is basically a KTM. You know, I mean, China makes KTM, and they make Honda. They do their engine stuff for them. They're under contract to do some of those bikes, so the quality is definitely the same. So that's it. I'll catch you next time.